Secret Origins Part 3. Not a very strong closer, in my opinion. Uh, Finishing up the first arc. Seems like there should have been one more part because they're just. It's just a quick ramp to the end. There's not a lot explained, and it's asking you to. Once again, I mean, I thought part 2 was asking you to make, leaps and connect the dots. This one really is just a rush. It's a slam bang towards the finish. Um, it's not bad. I mean, I understand they have to wrap this up and set the whole show into motion within this last 30 minutes, and it doesn't give you time to um, craft the story as well as I would like, or I'm pretty sure they would like. I'm pretty sure that there must be a lot of unused story script. They just kind of had to cut it for time because it feels gutted. Uh, and there's like simple stuff that just doesn't make any sense. But from a plot point, I guess you need to have it, but it doesn't. It doesn't fit with the rest. The last episode had Batman's supposed death, which anybody who even bought for a second that Batman was dead, um, that's just silly. And he pretty much pops back up in this episode to deliver the Deus Ex Machina. I reversed the ion flow, and that fixes the evil. All of a sudden, the evil machine is in reverse now, and now we can fight the White Martians and hurt them. It's kind of just, hi, I'm Batman. I showed up and fixed everything, which is very odd. The Martian Manhunter apparently was shielding him somehow. I mean, I can buy that, I guess. I mean, maybe John and Bruce had some mental conversation we were never privy to. But they don't give any explanation to how Batman got out of that situation. They don't. They just kind of go, yeah, and Batman survived. Which, to me, seems lazy. Another thing that really seems kind of just, you know, just them wanting to get towards the end is they all meet up back in Metropolis to go rescue Superman and Hawkgirl, who have been taken captive. And now throughout the whole show, they've kind of had, the White Martians have had kind of this bioorganic regenerating stuff. I mean, their doors are kind of like sphincter holes, pretty much. They kind of just close up with like a goo. It's very like, their stuff is very fluid. They're fluid kind of creatures, and their technology reflects that. Um, so the idea that, there's this big hole left over from Superman and Hawkgirl gaining entry, that so the rest of them can gain access, that doesn't raise any alarms with any of them. Uh, it doesn't raise any alarms how few troopers are in there. I mean, I guess they would be slightly less having fought Superman and Hawkgirl, but it's really Spartan, and they really don't encounter that many enemies along the way. which is, in all previous attempts at all the previous towers, there was like a constant fight. Here, it's a lot of dead space, that doesn't trip anyone's alarm. That doesn't nobody go, why is it so quiet? So when it's revealed that when they get to where Superman and Hawkgirl are supposed to be, and it's a trap, you're kind of going, duh. I mean, I know these guys, haven't knit together as a team, but nobody was going, why has everything been so hard? And all of a sudden, this seems way easier. I did like that there was still a little bit of distrust for John. I mean, the Flash and Green Lantern are kind of, the Flash is like, do we really trust this guy? I mean, what do we know about him? And Green Lantern's like, well, we don't really have a choice, which fits. I mean, they're up against the wall. Hi, doggy. And another thing that doesn't make any sense. So they have all the heroes together, and they're all like stuck in this goo. And they take the Intelligum, or whatever, the big hunkin' boss white Martian shows up and starts torturing the Martian Manhunter. And then Batman shows up, reverses at the machine, and there's this whole thing about, their stuff is weak to sunlight, and they're weak to sunlight. And all of a sudden, oh no, Superman breaks out his heat vision to free himself. He could have done that the second he woke up. That's immediately what Superman would do. He's not going to sit around. I mean, unless he's playing possum, but he's watching someone being horrifically tortured in front of him. Sorry for the pause. Had to run quick and shut off. For some reason, my alarm radio came on just randomly. So yeah, Superman turns on his heat vision, which he could have at any time. I mean, especially, they're in jeopardy, they're in mortal peril. John's being tortured in front of him. But now he just kind of sits there, kind of like, I'm gonna bide my time till someone tells me I can, use my heat vision to get free. Doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. Also, they didn't take John's ring, which maybe they couldn't get it off. But they just put him in goo with it, which I don't know why then he couldn't focus and break free. And they left Hawkgirl. They just stuck Hawkgirl in the goo with the mace still attached in her hand. She's still just holding it in this kind of, solidified goo. What? I understand you need to, you don't want them running to get their weapons or whatever. You need to get towards the end, but the hell? Seems way lazy. And then the final fight is really rushed, and all of a sudden, all these forces they've fought so hard to beat, in this one, it's like they just kick the hell out of them easily. All their technology, which has been so tough to fight, is now it's like, oh, well, we have to apply some effort, but we can easily wreck the stuff, which doesn't seem to jive with the other parts. But like I said, they got a ramp towards the end and set the league up, I guess. So, as much as that doesn't really seem satisfactory, I guess I'll let it pass. Also, there's a lot of murder in this. I mean, those white Martians are dead. There's a lot, and there's not even like a lot of. I mean, I understand like Hawk Girl, she doesn't give a crap, and maybe Diana doesn't give a crap. I mean, Wonder Woman's Amazon warrior. I mean, killing's not her first instinct, but she's not um, adverse to it. But even like Superman's cutting holes and boiling these guys. I mean, that's Superman doing that. That's not really something he does. And Batman's just kind of sitting there blowing hole. No, puppy. Shoo. Uh, like blowing holes, and they're just like frying these guys. It's, yeah, I mean, I guess they're not human, so no one cared. But when you really think about these are sentient creatures, there's a lot of death. It's kind of gruesome, in a way. Um, but they beat the bad guys. Oh, it turns out the senator character, if you didn't guess, was a Martian infiltrator. I mean, they couldn't have painted it, more obvious. I mean, I guess once again, if you were really young, that would be like a shocking reveal, but to a savvy watcher, you're going to pick that out very quickly. I mean, first episode, it seems like, oh yeah, this does not jive. Uh, so they beat the bad guys. Batman sets up the Watchtower. Now I understand they need to get the Watchtower. We used to have the Hall of Justice and all this other stuff in the comics, but by the time they got to the Watchtower and stuff like that, the Justice League had been around enough where you could kind of buy the governments and whatever, allowing them to build it and put it up, and maybe donations or whatever. This one, they just need to establish the Watchtower like right now, so they just have Superman ask Batman, oh, how'd you get this one done? And he just squirreled away a little bit of monies to put up $1 billion satellite. I know there's suspension of disbelief, but I mean, there's so many hoops to go through with that. That how do you do that without any government notice? I mean, I don't. Doesn't seem to work. So, but they need to get the Watchtower established. They need to get it all in order. So it kind of just like, oh, we're going to be a team now and get together for justice and peace. And they kind of make the Super Friends joke. They have Flash make the joke. I really do enjoy this interpretation of the Flash. Once again, I'm a big Flash guy. I love Wally. This is like it's a more jokey version of Wally, but he kind of has that like connection to what someone who was actually there would think. Like they say, oh, we're gonna be like a Justice League, and he's like, you know how corny that sounds, because it does sound kind of corny. They all come together and they're like, hey John, would you like to hang out with us? And he's like, okay. And Batman's like, I'm not a people person, but when shit hits the fan and you need Batman, I'll show up, because you guys need Batman. Let's be honest. And they're right, they do need Batman. And that's the end. It's once again, it's just kind of rushed, and I wouldn't say sloppy, but just this needed one more part to make it all work, and it doesn't have the time to have the payoff it should. That's it.